All right, welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Um, I was watching TikTok today as the Empress card pops up, and there's a fellow on there whose TikTok I was watching named Hopeless Judas. Okay, take that as you will. And he was doing a video on his gut feelings as to the inauguration and why he doesn't think it was going to happen. And he brought up something that I had forgotten about. But I first read it on Jean Mayel's website. Good Lord, I can't remember her website's name. I'll put a link in the description. Or I'll pause and look it up. Hang on. Well, it's something as simple as Jean Mayel. JeanMayell.com. And it was basically a forum, a website or a forum for intuitives to post up predictions and things along those lines. And I remember, frequenting that site a lot in 2017, 18, and such. One of the consistent predictions they had was that Jared Kushner was going to be the highest level person in the Trump administration who was going to serve prison time for his actions, which would mean that Pence and Trump would not be serving time. Probably Mark Meadows neither. And right now, given the way the court cases have gone, I think a lot of us would be shocked if Trump spent any time in prison. But they also, predictions in there were saying that it was going to be Ivanka was the one who turned on him. And a number of readers have seen Ivanka turning on Donald. And that's always been in the back burner. But as we're approaching the January 20th, 2025 inauguration, we're 1 week away, trying to think what's going to undermine Trump, what's going to prevent him from being inaugurated. And this fellow on TikTok, Mr. Judas here, he said it was going to be Ivanka squealing on the father, and his thought was, I think it was on election interference. And his reasoning that he thought Junior would be the one. Junior could be the one who does it, but he thinks it's going to be Ivanka. And the reason for that is with the $2 billion hedge fund that the Saudis have, that Jared Kushner manages. That's a real problem. Talk about bribing government officials. Does it get any more bribery than that? And Donald Trump has even referred to Ivanka as she's the one who's most like him. And he would throw any of his kids under the bus, and has thrown his kids under the bus during the Trump the Trump org felony trials, where Trump org was found guilty as a company of being felonious like 17 times. So an Eric and Junior under the bus for that one. So yeah, he has no problem throwing his kids under the bus. And I'm just thinking, okay, and I was thinking about that, mulling it over. Would Ivanka really know anything about current election interference? Probably not. Maybe, but what about Ivana? Remember how Ivana, just a day or two before she was going to be out from underneath a gag order, a confidentiality agreement, non-disclosure agreement, and she was going to be able to testify, and I think she was going to go under deposition to testify against Donald Trump, and then she mysteriously fell down the stairs in her place, her flat. Well, I don't know if it's a flat, in the place that she lived, when she had an elevator and always took the elevator, and she had a trip planned to Europe, and then she got buried really, really quickly on a golf course. Cremated, a lot of suspect stuff going on there. What if there was some secret security cameras that were in place that maybe, if there was shenanigans going on, that I'm sure if anybody was committing shenanigans, they would know to grab security tapes. What if they didn't know those existed? Or what if there was a second set, like a recorder somewhere that's, say, a family member that was trusted by the mom knew about, but nobody else knew about? And let's say you want to trade information to protect yourself. We've looked at election interference as being something that could slow down or derail Donald Trump because, well, the election was stolen. What if that's not it? What if there's a link between Ivana's sudden death as she falls down the stairs and Donald Trump? And that there was videotapes to back it up and the testimony of a daughter to back it up. MAGA's not going to be happy, but wow, talk about juicy family gossip. It'd be one thing if it was just Ivanka's word, but imagine if there was evidence, video where they can watch, the down the stairs type thing. He would never live long enough to actually see a murder trial because it takes a long time for that to happen. He'll delay everything, but can you imagine what that might be like? So I'm going to look into, this almost belongs in Conspiracy Corner. Probably does belong in Conspiracy Corner. So I'll link it in Conspiracy Corner playlist. But is Trump, let's just, we can ask, is Trump responsible for Ivana's untimely death? And is this what's going to derail his inauguration? Imagine them slapping bracelets on him midweek next week, arresting him for the murder of his former wife. The news media is gonna cover that. I mean, how does Fox News not cover that? Know what I mean? How do you not cover that? And wouldn't that just be the most apropos way for him to go? All right, so entertainment purpose only. Donald Trump, did he have any hand to Ivana's untimely death? Yeah, you can't write these things. Shuffling the deck, overhand shuffle the entire time. Foundation of the reading is the devil card, the corrupt behavior, the toxic, the toxic marriage, the toxic relationship that was there. Donald has been accused of, I think, pretty much roughing up Ivana. She said he roughed her up, and I think that was one of the reasons why they divorced. But yeah, not the great relationship here, and she got free of him, but she was still tied to him through the Non-Disclosure Act, and that Non-Disclosure Act was about to be undone. And we all know that narcissists do not like to be embarrassed. Crossed with the Lover's card. And that's funny. These cards are identical. It's just the low energy and the high energy type thing. Now you got the naked woman, the naked man, the angelic being, and in this case they're chained. In this case, they've got free will. Crossed what should have been and what was. And underneath it all, money. Money and control of money. Control of power. This could have been, if it was a crime, it could have been a crime of opportunity. Could have been costing Trump. Underneath it all is money. Something, whatever drove their relationship, it was money. Certainly it was money that brought them together, and it was going to be money that drove them apart, and it could be money that ended it fatally. In the past, you got the Six of Wands. Trump getting everything he wanted pretty much in the divorce as far as non-disclosure acts and such, but also, winning the election, becoming prominent. This is a look at me card. They were certainly a couple that was looked at. And if you want to say, yes, he did it, then we could be looking in the past. I was asking if he did it, but this could also be looking at the current timelines too, that he got away with it. Current situation, I think this would seem like he had a hand in it. And then you've got to take all the information, all the evidence, and hide it, bury it. Did I just use the term bury it? That was a slip, or was it? Maybe you need to bury the evidence in a casket on your golf course. Just saying. Overarching energy is the Three of Wands. There could have been some overseas influence in with this. There could be a plan to flee overseas. He could go to France. France will not extradite. For example, France will not extradite people facing murder charges or facing any charges where capital punishment is a potential sentence. But there's and she was getting ready to go overseas. She was going on a cruise. She was about to be free of him. Let's see. Lesson to be learned. The wealthy woman, the woman who had everything, who was married to a man who pretended to have everything. In fact, she was probably wealthier than he was when she died. In actual paper wealth. It's almost like we're hiding the evidence. No, evidence could have been sent overseas, or even knowing this day was coming and making plans for that day to deal with this person. Outcome was the Knight of Swords. It's got the vibe like it was a crime of opportunity. You know what? Got to do something quick. Ran out of time. The plan, this could be Mossad was going to send over some agents to help him out to take care of that person and keep things on the down low, but he was unable to accomplish that for some reason. So something had to be done quickly. Those would not be great cards. If you were the type that was thinking he didn't do it, those would not be great cards. It may not be him physically that did it. He could have had somebody do it for him. But I'm wondering, it's not like Ivana's going to let some stranger in. So that person would have to break in to do it, or it would have to be somebody familiar. This is assuming that it was not her slipping and falling down the stairs and then dying from that as an accident, as opposed to a deliberate act. Just saying. Again, entertainment purposes only. One of the reasons why this will end conspiracy porno. Now, would there be evidence, or was there evidence available and maybe discovered, turned over to authorities, that would link the former president to the death of his ex-wife? I think that's about as straightforward a question as you can ask, right? Four-carder. The World card. Things coming to a closure. And overseas information. Wouldn't that be interesting if the whole thing with the Five Eyes wasn't about election interference? It was about Trump and his ex-wife and her death. Somebody ratted. They sat on the evidence. And they're going to go overseas. Either this could have been hidden overseas, or there was overseas involvement, but somebody ratted on this. And the World card, bringing things to a close, calming things down, going to calm things down. It's a plea agreement. A famous Joe Biden card of mine, and integrity, illusions, delusions. Honestly, I think somebody was weighing their situation and brought their situation to a close. It's going to make their life simpler by basically being a star witness, as it were, star witness in front of the jurors. And whether you look at this as Joe Biden having this information, or Trump not being able to maintain his temper, maintain control of his emotions. I'm going to say yes. Whether this information comes from somewhere else in the world, or it brings this case to a close between evidence and testimony, that's going to be a problem. That's what I'm going to say. That's going to be a problem. There. You might wonder why I do that last little bit. Is I want to make sure the bottom card doesn't stay on the bottom, because otherwise, if I'm a lousy shuffler, which I don't claim to be a good one, certainly, then that card could stay on the bottom every time. So when I put my brother, it's funny, when I watch my brother put his cards back, he takes all the cards, piles them up, and puts them right on top of the deck, and then tries to shuffle those. I put them into different parts of the deck because I don't want them to be next to each other. And that way, if they do show up again in the same spread, it's not me, being a lousy shuffler and making sure that they weren't shuffled properly. That they start off in different parts, and if they end up together again, well, they end up together again. Plus, I do an overhand shuffle like this that at least takes the top card, buries it. 3. Oops, there's the Hillbilly Brawl card. 4, 5. It's like shuffling. It's only really shuffling 5 cards when I do that, but if you do it for a couple minutes, lots of cards get shuffled, or at least randomized, as it were. Okay. It is now Sunday, January 12th. It's a little after 1 Pacific time. Excuse me, not East Coast time, Pacific time. Will information be released this week that would lead to the arrest of Donald Trump for the unaliving of his first wife, Ivana? Maybe I should say his wife, Ivana. We're assuming it's his first wife. It's reported his first wife, but who knows? Let's just say Ivana. I'll do a full 7-card spread on that one. Queen of Wands. That's action being taken with the integrity, which was the underneath card here. What's underneath it? 7 of Coins. Evaluations. Reaping what you sow. Actions being taken by a woman for your lack of integrity, and you will be reaping what you sow. There's been some nervousness that that you might know that this is coming, and you're waiting for the shoe to drop. Star witness. Stars aligning. Huge disappointment with whoever this woman is that brings this action against you. Apple and his eye. God, this would fit Ivanka, right? A woman taking action about integrity. Now, I'm not saying she has an ounce of integrity, but taking the good with the bad. I'll take the good, please, and I'll leave the bad behind. Star witness. Disappointment. Can't believe that, betrayal. I'm surprised I don't get the 3 of Swords with that. King of Swords, you did what you did. Page of Cups. Catching people flat-footed. No, and MAGA with this as well. This could also be a special prosecutor. It's very possible. I'm not seeing a screaming yes, but I'm definitely not seeing a no here. Something could come out this week. Let me ask it a different way, because I asked if it was this week, so that's now a timing thing. And the timing thing becomes a free will thing. And there could be evidence to do it, and folks might decide that it's not the time to do it. Entertainment purpose only again. What do I know? I'm just some random dude on the internet reading tarot cards, asking provocative questions. Not trying to defame anyone. Will there be evidence that eventually comes out? I'm trying to get rid of the timing component of it. I wanted to ask the timing component first, because that's what you're going to be most interested in. Will there, although this will be a 4-carder, will it eventually come out that he had a hand in Ivana's death. That Trump had advantage of Ivana's death and information coming out. Yeah, that's a yes. Ten of Swords. Ten of Wands. Good Lord. And a Fool card. Strength card. Yeah. I'm going to say yes on that one. If anything was going to land him in prison, it would be this. You know, using the strength of the case or using his strength to push her down. It's going to be, it would be, you know, it's something he wouldn't survive this. You know, too much evidence, the burden of proof is there. It's going to be, it would be his undoing. There would be too much going on, and it would be a new chapter in his life or the end of his life. That's what we're, now, mind you, with the Four of Wands, it could very well, I often use that as a prison card because the way the bars are set up, even with that one, would really double it. He may not live long enough to ever see the inside of a jail cell. Just saying. He's not a healthy person. He may not even be mentally competent. When that Ten of Swords is about intellect, this is one of those things where he's guilty of it, but he can't stand trial because he's mentally incompetent. That type of thing. So, just a little 4-card at the end. What else does Spirit want to let us know about Trump, Ivana, her death, and how this all plays out? Okay. I wanted to put this out there because I was, after listening to that TikTok video and just sort of laying in bed and just mulling over everything, it was just like, oh my God, could you imagine if he killed her? Maggie would have to hear it. They couldn't say it's a frame job, especially if Ivanka is saying it happened. And then there's also like videotape of from a security camera capturing it. Can you imagine? They would say, oh yeah, you faked the tape or something like that, but then you got first daughter out there saying, no, he did it. And they would kind of have to be resigned to it. The fanatics will never be resigned, but that would peel a lot of people off. Anything else Spirit wants to let us know about this? Page of Swords, there's a spy in the camp. Somebody's snitching. Overseas. This could be the spy agencies overseas having that information. Maybe somebody knew something that was arrested overseas or something like that, but it's an overseas thing. The evidence is there. It's what do you do with it? Oligarchs in the grift. The spy bringing forward the message. It's almost like this person is, the person who brings this forward is trying to minimize their exposure to overseas oligarchs. We're back to Ivanka again and Jared. It was Rosie, I remember, first talking about this, saying, Ivanka would even, she was, back in the day, reading that Ivanka was trying to get pregnant, maybe, to avoid going to prison. I'm too pretty to go to prison. But this would be like, cut me a deal. Cut me a deal. I've got evidence. I'll leave. This could be like, the $2 billion that the Saudis have given her husband to manage, and he gets paid like $50 million a year to manage that. Even if the money, technically the money belongs to the Saudis. Now, whether it's a bribe and the whole $2 billion actually goes to Jared or not, the fact of the matter is it is set up as a hedge fund for the Saudis. So if that hedge fund were closed, that should be the Saudis' money. That being said, the Saudis pay Jared a $25 million fee to manage it, and then he gets some percentage of what the fund earns or the fund's total value or something like that. And it comes out to $50 million a year. It's like winning a big lottery every year. There are few sports stars that get paid $50 million a year. So it's a chunk o' change every year for somebody who's never managed a hedge fund before. That's totally not suspicious, is it? It's going to be an exciting week this week. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.